Now it is time to decorate my cookie. When I am piping and flooding a larger area on a cookie, I will generally use piping tip number 4 because it allows for more icing to flow out and takes less time to flood the cookie. For smaller areas, I like to use piping tip number 2. Since piping tip number 4 is a little bit bigger and the icing is kind of thin, make sure when you take your bag out of the glass, you immediately turn the bag upright so that the icing does not fall out. Now I'm going to place it on my wet paper towel and squeeze out any excess air and twist my bag to get a better grip and get ready for piping. I'm also going to take my wet paper towel and wipe off the end of the tip in case there's any crusted frosting, and again hold it in this upright position until you're ready to go to the cookie. Now when I go down to my cookie, I'm not going to go to the edge because as soon as I turn this bag upside down, the icing is going to start to come out. So instead, I will go from the middle or somewhere near there. Now you don't want to pipe all the way on the edge of the cookie with this consistency icing because it will spread a little and you don't want it to flow over the side of your cookie. It's a little difficult to see exactly where I'm piping because I have the camera overhead and usually I'm above the cookie, but I think it will be okay. It's okay if it's not perfect, you'll be able to fix it as you flood. Now as soon as I am finished with the outline, I'm going to start flooding. This is a technique I like to use. Pipe lines along the inside, kind of close together. I'm gently squeezing. The icing does come out on its own, but when I want to fill larger areas, I do apply a little bit more pressure. When I was piping the outline, I barely had to squeeze because I didn't want too much to come out and go over the edge of the cookie. Now, all I do is use my piping tip, and I'm barely squeezing. Sometimes I'm not squeezing at all, and I'm using the tip to sort of blend the two lines together. Now right now I'm not having to squeeze at all because there's already enough icing down. Okay, just do little swirling motions to smooth and blend the two lines together. Swirling, dabbing. Now you might be able to see on this arm here, I didn't go as far to the edge as I wanted. So what I'm going to do is sort of use the piping tip and from the outside or the inside pushing out, push the icing out a little bit more. Okay. Just kind of blending the two lines together. Okay, now the inside. Give it a little squeeze if you need. For the larger gaps, definitely make sure you squeeze more icing out, otherwise you're going to end up with craters in your cookie. I like this consistency icing because as you can see, it smooths itself out without having to shake your cookie or use an additional tool. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to put my bag back in the cup. Maybe on some of the areas your icing will have gone over the edge a little bit. You can usually fix that with a toothpick by just going around the edge. This one's not too bad, but I've done worse. But you have to do this while the icing is wet, otherwise it will mess up your cookie. Well, it's not too bad here. But like I said, if it does go over the edge just a little, it's easy to fix. Just make sure you do it right away. Also, if you have any air bubbles, you can use the toothpick to pop those. This one doesn't look too bad. Now I'm just going to put my little mouth on there and some eyes. You can use tweezers if you want. I'm just hoping that I drop them the right way and they don't go upside down. Now I'll just take the clean side of my toothpick and poke them down. And there you go. So as you can see, you can use the same consistency for piping the outline and the inside, and it just takes so much less time and you come out with a really smooth cookie.